Hello everyone, I'm Cindy Cowan. Hope everyone is enjoying their summer. Thank you guys for joining us today for a fun Omnicultural TV Fest pre-show. This week, we're gonna make you laugh out loud with comedian Doug Williams, and from My NMC on FX and On My Block on Netflix, Ada LaPlante, as we feature their selection Domestic Doug.
Shouldn't she be a little bit more concerned about who her baby's father is instead of worried about us? You know what? You should have taken your $15 and bought you a new shirt. Bruh, you look like you just finished changing somebody's transmission in the parking lot. Now you too old. I'm talking killers, rapists, drug dealers.
You need to lower your tone.
What? Look, I'm locked up. Don't tell me to lower my... Hello? Hello?
Yeah, baby! Omnicultural TV Fest virtual pre-show with one of our selections for 2020, Domestic Doug!
Key.
Shout out to Randall Moore from the Bronx. Hey, New York Boricua, what's up?
He's gonna love you. He's gonna love you for that. I keep forgetting to mention it. So Doug, one of the top comedians from First Amendment on Stars, travels the world, opens for the big names. He has been in the circuit for years. One, I personally think you are one of the funniest that I have ever seen.
Oh, thank you. Is this a rated R Zoom? Can we be rated R on here?
No.
Oh, no. Don't, you might not get me started now, because
I know. I didn't finish the word.
Okay.
And then Ada, my buddy, my friend, a New Yorican. She has stars of Mayan MC on FX and On My Block, La Mafiosa, Cuchillo on Netflix, and one of the greatest acting coaches. I actually go to her for every coaching job I have. Welcome to Omnicultural TV Fest, and congratulations on being an official selection yet again. You won last year for Best Talk Show. This year we got a new one, Domestic Doug. How are you guys?
Oh, we're doing great. As you can hear planes and stuff coming overhead and stuff.
I think there was a fire by my house in Pacific Palisades. There were planes flying, smoke. I'm like, oh, please, no fire. We can't take it.
And it only happens when you're trying to record something. That's when they start.
So tell me, what have you guys been doing during this pandemic? Are you like on each other's nerves yet?
In the beginning, it was crazy because Doug hasn't been home. You know, Doug is a comedian. He hasn't been home this long since never.
Yeah, so I was getting in everybody's way. You know, they have a routine, and I was the odd man out. Every time they start, I was in the way. Move back, go over here, sit down. Move. I mean, but we developed a rhythm now. We got it now. We prayed about it. We got God involved. This is one of those situations where you have to get God involved. You know what I'm saying? It's bigger than you are.
Well, I remember when Ada was like, I want Doug home. He needs to be home, blah, 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 blah. And I'm leaving him if he doesn't start being home 24/7. And then when you were home 24/7, she's like, I don't want him home.
Be careful what you ask for. Be careful what I'm here.
Yes.
That's what I told her. I started laughing. I go, Ada, be careful what you wish for. God has a great sense of humor.
Yes.
So how is it like, oh my God, handling this? I mean, comedians are really struggling, aren't they? Because you are so used to that adrenaline of the live audience, and now, you know.
We're all of our work got canceled. I mean, just imagine being booked up for the whole year, and then everything is gone.
Yep.
No more work. The cruise ships have been parked. So, you know, everything is gone. So, you know, but life goes on. Thank God I have a beautiful wife. And I put her to work. She's working now. You know,
she's supporting the household now. So you're now Mr. Dad.
Yeah, yes, he's doing the dishes. He's doing the laundry because
yes.
I'm you know, I'm working.
She working. She teaching this Zoom thing, you know. But I tell you what I do like about this thing, though, you know, the whole Zoom thing and being at home, it's fabulous to go to church because you can go to church, put a donation down, and then when it's over with, pick it back up and go on about your business. You see what I'm saying? I mean, that's the beauty of this virtual thing. I love it, Kiki.
Guys, tell me about this project. I know that Domestic Doug is a sitcom, correct? You are looking at it as
It's a single camera show.
It's a dramedy.
In the vein of single camera shows, in the vein of Sex in the City. You know, those are all single camera shows. If you recall, the Bernie Mac show was a single camera show.
Right.
But you know, this is a special project because we are fusing. It's almost like a dark comedy because we're taking the world of stand-up comedy, especially the urban world of stand-up comedy, and we're fusing it with our relationship, which was at the time was volatile.
Right.
And we had a incident that jumped off. See, the thing about it is, people are not taught how to be in relationships. We learn everything. You know, we learn how to be, you know, doctors. We learn how to become an actor. We learn how to become a comedian.
It's like parenting. You know, there's no. Once you become a parent, you're thrown in the water. You know.
So we were thrown into a relationship. She being from the Bronx, New York, big city girl. Me being from Montgomery, Alabama, small town place where I was used to, you know, that Southern way of living. Women are very submissive. Not all, but for the majority, they're very submissive. And you know, I fall in love with this Puerto Rican Spitfire, and we had to figure out each other. We had to figure out how it worked.
We had to break up and then come back together differently. We had to find God, you know, and really put God in our house in order for our relationship to blossom.
But it was very volatile at first, you know, and people don't realize, and which resulted in me having to take a domestic violence class. And at first I thought, you know, having to go to domestic violence, I'm from the South, raised, you know, sister. I thought this was the worst possible thing that could have ever happened to me, having to go to classes on how to treat a woman, boundaries. But it turned out to be the best thing that could have ever happened. Those classes actually saved my relationship or our relationship.
And even though,
and not just your relationship, but it made you a better person, I'm sure.
Go ahead.
Even though I didn't have to take any mandatory classes, I chose.
I don't know why, Doug. That was so unfair. That is so unfair.
No, it's the system. It's rigged.
But I did. I went to therapy on my own for many years, and I really learned a lot about my baggage. You know, my own baggage and how to deal with that.
And that's how this beautiful project was born, right? From your own experience.
Yeah,
it's loosely based.
Heavily, I was going to say heavily based.
One says heavily, one says loosely.
Heavily, on my side, it's heavily based. Hers maybe loosely. But when I completed the classes, I did a one-man show, and people were like, you can't do a one-man show on domestic violence, an incident that happened. But I was able to do it because of the redeeming qualities, because that process transformed me into a different person. And let me tell you, you know, in those classes, they really teach you how to absorb or how to go about controlling your emotions. Because think about it, we're all just one step away from making the wrong move. How many times have you been in an argument with your husband?
Oh,
your
yeah.
And in that split second, you could do something that could alter the course of
your life. They say that people
or say something that you're gonna regret.
Right.
You know,
and people don't realize domestic violence is not just physical; it's emotional. You know, the things you say, how you treat a person, that's all under the umbrella of domestic violence. People, when they hear domestic violence, they automatically think of
physical
violence. Physical. It's not physical. It's not just physical. It's emotional.
Neglect.
It's a whole bunch of things that I had to learn myself that I was doing to her that were a violation that fall under that category of domestic violence, and it wasn't just physical.
Right, and that's the beauty of this project, Domestic Doug, because you are taking a very serious thing that could actually help so many couples and so many relationships sort of through you, they could learn how can they do their relationship better, what can they learn by learning more about domestic violence. But you turned it into a comedy, you turned it into a lighthearted type of comedy, making sort of your point and making a difference out there, but at the same time entertaining people, which is what I love about this project. You know, you're not just like, it's not a drama, it's not like, you know, I mean, you take the entire domestic violence seriously, but you show it through these really well-developed characters so that people can actually learn from it.
Absolutely.
That was one of the things that we had discussed when we were doing this project. We said, what is the life lesson? Why are we doing this?
Right.
Why are we exposing ourselves out there like that? Because it's an intimate, you know, it's a very personal situation and a very personal story that many people don't talk about. But
right.
That's the problem. People don't talk about it.
Right.
You know? So we did it, you know, to so that we can learn and heal, but so that other people can say, hey, why, especially in the Black and Latino communities, have such a hard time dealing with mental illness, anger management.
We don't talk about it.
Therapy is not something that's looked to, and we do. We need that. We need we need the professional help. Why not?
And that's what we were able to do with the show, is because there are a lot of redeeming qualities, because you have to keep in mind, we went to the lowest point that you can go to, and that was me getting arrested. I mean, this goes deep, and I had to get out. And imagine going to jail over an incident that you had with someone you love and that you still love. So we had to, our relationship was stripped all the way down. Wow. And we had to build it back up. And we end up marrying each other and having kids and having a life.
We had to separate in order to come back together eventually, because the one thing.
How long did you stay away from each other after that incident?
Well, actually, we stayed together for which was not advised. You know, the counselor told me, hey, you need to get out of there as soon as possible, especially when I started telling them things that were going on.
It wasn't right away. We didn't separate right away.
Like,
but
hey,
we did
get out
separate.
of there. You're living on a time bomb. But we eventually separated, and we came back together. So
we stayed together because really and honestly, we couldn't afford to separate.
Like so many couples.
And
like
many times, that's the reason people don't separate. Is a lot of times it's finances involved. But we had to separate in order to grow separately and deal with our own baggages. And then when we decided that we were going to come back together, we decided that we didn't want to come into the relationship the same people. What have we learned? We started going to therapy together. We decided that we didn't want to bring kids into this world with the same upbringings and philosophies that we were raised under. And so we had to really, really change. And spirituality also helped us.
Yeah.
Tremendously.
So
people face this all the time. You fall in love with someone from a different background, a different culture, a different region of the country, and you have to learn how to adjust. But in a relationship period, you just, male and female, like I said, we're not taught. There's no class for what to do in a relationship and how to consider someone's feelings. You're just thrown into a relationship and you have to figure it out for yourself.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes it such a great comic, is when you have all these emotions and you have all these sort of experiences, that's what makes you a stronger comic. I want people to see a little bit of your comedy, Doug. Let's watch.
How many of you, by a show of hands, would give him your kidney tomorrow? How many of y'all? You can tell a lot of them were lying on that one by the way they raised their hand. Y'all are lying. Half of the time, y'all don't even want to give us a ride to work. You're like, look.
So that's what makes you such a great comic, is all these things that you have gone through.
It's so funny watching yourself. You know, I mean, you know Kiki as a comedian. When you're on stage, you're having a good time. But when you sit and watch yourself, you go, oh, man, I could have done this. I could have done that. I mean, it's hard, period, as an actor or a comedian, just to sit and watch yourself.
I know. And Ada, you're doing really good. I know that both of you guys have come to Los Angeles, had great success. Give us a little bit of a history, Ada. You were on a hit show on BET. Take me from there.
I came in, I booked work pretty, almost right away. I was on a sitcom, the very first sitcom that BET ever had, titled The Blackberry Inn. I played a role, the character named Chessie. That went on for 2 seasons. And then I started doing a slew of independent films and projects, came close to booking a lot of pilots. Not a lot, but a couple of pilots. And then this man came in.
And then your life was ruined. No, I'm just kidding. Your career. No, because we have to concentrate on either career or relationship. That's what they say. But we are lucky to have them both. Now, recently, you were starring in Mayan MC on FX. You got some juicy roles. I love those roles you play, girl. You are such a biatch.
Yeah, they're pretty complex, you know, which I love roles that will challenge me and that are unfamiliar to me, you know, roles that I have to really sink my teeth into and really research, you know, why is this person, you know, what is the pain, you know, what drives this person.
It's amazing to watch her transform into these characters because, you know, the first character that she played on Mayans MC was prostitute. I was trying to find, you know, they have these technical names for things now where you call a prostitute. She was, I don't know, woman for hire.
A woman of the street.
A woman of the street, right. And to see her, actually it was a turn on for me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure. Listen, everybody that watched it was a turn on for them.
But, you know, the show, it's interesting because the show, my character comes in much later in life. You know, she's no longer that young,
right,
you know, who is desired. She's actually discarded by society.
Yeah, let's watch.
Why should I? You don't give a me. Never call. Never help me out. Only reason you're here now is because of her.
And then there's Cuchillo on Netflix. Watch this.
Too strong.
The poison. I'm joking. Poison doesn't have a taste.
So what do you think, what is there for you guys? I mean, you guys obviously always creating, always coming up with amazing projects. I would say cutting edge. What is next for you guys? What are your focus? What is your focus now?
Well, you know, with the pandemic now,
the pandemic has been, for us, a creative process because we've been in the office every day coming up with ideas. We have some really interesting projects that we're working on right now, and we don't want to tip the hand, but just some very interesting projects that are very diverse, very inclusive, and we get to tell our stories. Yeah. And I think, you know,
I've actually just found a script that I and I think we talked about it not so long ago, Kiki, that I had written years ago, and it was my baby that I wanted to direct.
Yeah.
Project for me to direct. So now I've decided to just
try it. Go for it.
You know, now I'm working on it again, and with Doug, who's, you know, my partner here, and we're figuring it out so that I can start directing, which is something that I've always wanted to do.
Wow.
But have never had the guts to, and I figured, why not now? You know, I think that the pandemic is something that we should all come out of transformed. Yeah,
doing things that we never had the time to focus. You know,
whatever that may be. It doesn't have to be our career. It could be the complete opposite. Self-reflection. Yeah. I just think that this is a great opportunity, you know, to stay safe, to stay home, and while we're here, you know, just work on ourselves.
Exactly. And what about you, Doug? What are you thinking? How has this pandemic changed you?
Well, it's been great for me because I was always complaining. You know, I was always on the road. I literally worked about 15 days out of each month I was gone.
Yeah.
So to spend this kind of time, especially once we got on the right path. Now, I'm not going to lie, it was rough at first. I mean,
I know.
Teachers, I take my hat off to the teachers. God bless teachers, because you don't realize how bad your kids are until you have to try to do what teachers have.
Our kids we don't have bad kids.
Yes, we do. No, we got bad kids.
He just doesn't know how to, you know, he's learning. He's learning how to be home and how to, you know, it's the boys in me. They're always one on one hip and one on the other. So, we have this down.
But I tell you what, though,
know.
I really have been enjoying the family, my wife late at night, to sit and watch movies.
Too much information.
hey, you know what? I'm having a blast,
Oh my God, there might be a third little one coming along after this pandemic.
Unless she's adopted.
I just want to say this, though. I do want to commend you, Kiki, for what you do. I mean, you're such an inspiration.
Yes.
All people have to do in this town, if you ever feel down, if you ever feel like you can't make it, look at Kiki.
Oh my God. Well,
forever doing something. God bless you for your efforts. And not only do you do things, you try to include other people. You try to bring other people along. So
yeah,
that's
I just feel like we have such great talent out there, including me, including you, including all the people that have submitted to Omni and people I meet every day. And I just want all of us to get behind a platform where we're, putting this content in their face. Don't tell me you can't find it. Don't tell me that you cannot find diverse.
you can't use that as an excuse anymore.
There, we have it in a silver platter, and that's what I'm hoping that everyone joins us, subscribes to our channel, watches it, shares it, comments, because if we do this together, we will have a great outcome. Because people, like today, just so you know, we were recording a show and I happened to have sent the project to a distributor, and the distributor came on my last show and surprised the filmmakers and said he would like to offer them a distribution deal.
Wow.
So these are really great things. Hey. So it made me so happy. And it's so funny because the filmmaker goes, what percentage do I have to give you? Because they are just so sure that I want a percentage. I'm like, no, I just want you to talk about Omni. Push Omni. You know what I mean? That's all I want from you. I just want you to
pay it forward. You don't have to do anything. So I feel like you guys have been there from the beginning. You submitted your project. You were an Omni winner for Best Talk Show. And you even got some interest. I mean, some of the deals weren't the right ones, but you got some interest for your talk show. Absolutely.
I mean, not all the deals are going to work out, but at least it got you out there. More people know who you are. And some people were like, well, hey, I want to try to make a deal with this person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I am very, very excited for you guys. I can't wait to screen Domestic Doug. I love the project. I think you guys are really awesome. And let's do this, guys. Let's come out of this pandemic corriendo. Okay, let's not, and Ada, you lost a lot of weight, girl.
Paquiendo. Yes, we got a Paquiendo.
Patinando.
Okay, yeah. Doug, can you come out of this pandemic speaking some Spanish? Just a little?
Yes. Sí.
Hi, I'm Ada Luz Williams.
And I'm Doug Williams. And we are an official selection for the Omnicultural TV Festival.
Come check us out.
Domestic Doug. Come see Domestic Doug.
So make sure to share, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel.
At Omnicultural TV Fest, we believe that great content is and always will be diverse and inclusive. I'm Doug Williams.
I'm Ada Luz Williams.
Hi, I'm Corey Martin Craig.
My name is Diana Hernandez.
Hey, I'm Cindy Chu.
Hi, my name is Kate Rose Goldberg.
Hi, my name is Howard Green.
Hi, I'm Amanda Dash.
Hi, I'm Gordon Green.
And I was winner of the 2019 Omnicultural TV Fest.
My project, To Be Me, won Best Sizzle Reel at the 2019 Omniculture Festival.
I'm the winner of Best Scripted Comedy for my TV series, Queens.
I would like to thank Kiki and Sydney and the entire team for putting on an incredible, wonderful, amazing, much-needed festival.
I believe that Omni TV Fest is really onto something and are the epitome of what diversity should look like.
We are inclusion and diversity. She's Hispanic, Latino, and I'm Black.
We are here to show our talent, to show what we want to create and show the world.
Let's do this together.